G'day, it's Pete here and I'm back for another daily dose, and today it's how good is leading a Doubleton? So first of all, leading a Doubleton's not that great. So I'll talk about the issues with leading a Doubleton, which the main one is when you lead it, your partner will often think that you've got a singleton, so if they get in they try and give you a ruff straight away and it doesn't happen and the defense just sort of falters away. Okay, that's the main issue with leading a Doubleton. It can also pick up, so when you lead shortages, you can often pick up like partners jack fourth or things like that, which they weren't otherwise going to, the declarer wasn't going to play for. So leading shortages can pick up partners sort of lower honours, which they weren't going to do themselves before. But if you lead a singleton, you often get this back by getting ruffs pretty often. Whereas when you lead a Doubleton, it doesn't actually happen. So leading Doubletons isn't great. There are some times where leading a Doubleton is fine though. So for instance, if partners bid the suit, don't worry about it, just go ahead and lead that anyway. Other times are like your partner knows you don't have a singleton. So for instance, let's say you've opened one no trump, then your partner knows that you don't have a singleton, so they're not going to get the defense wrong and they'll be able to play it appropriately from there. So if you've done something where your partner knows exactly that you can't have a singleton or you have exactly two, then leading the Doubleton's not so bad there. It can be a passive lead. Sometimes all your other leads might be a bit more aggressive, so it might just be the lead that doesn't give away anything, so that's also okay. What I don't like doing is leading away from honor Doubletons in just hoping to... If you just lead honor Doubletons like King X or things like that, that is really dangerous, can often blow a trick, so I try and avoid them if you can. Sometimes the bidding will strongly suggest to do that, but other than that it's pretty dangerous. And final time that's actually reasonable to lead a Doubleton and try and get a ruff is if you have the ace of trumps, because you'll get a second bite of the apple. So you lead your Doubleton, if your partner gets in and tries to give you a ruff, you don't get your ruff. But then you get in with the ace of trumps, and if you still have more trumps, if you can find a way to actually get partner in now, that's when you can actually get your ruff. So there are a few times where it's actually reasonable to lead a Doubleton. But for the most part, it's not a good lead and you want to stray away from it. But if you fit some of those other criteria, such as it's a passive lead, all your other leads are really dangerous, your partner's bid the suit, your partner knows you can't have a singleton, or possibly if you've got the ace of trumps, you might get a second bite of that and you might be able to get that ruff. So the ace of trumps is just like this marginal one that's okay. The other times you'll often not get your ruffs, you'll pick up your partner's honours and they'll get the defense wrong. So looking at a Doubleton lead double dummy, it's not often a bad lead, but single dummy where people can't see all the cards, then your partner's more likely to get the defense wrong, you're not likely to get a ruff, and you're likely to pick up partners' lower honours like jacks and things like that. So for those reasons, leading Doubletons are bad and you want to try and avoid them. But if you look at those other reasons I mentioned earlier, there are sometimes when you can consider leading a Doubleton. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this daily dose, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.